share for ABC Corporation is currently trading at $30. Consider buying, and this is key. You are buying the following options. The fact that they said that they're buying means that these are both long positions. Remember, long means to buy. So you become the holder. If they said you're selling, that means you're a short. Short means selling, which means you're the issuer. So you have to pay attention to that in the text because you have to know if you're the holder or if you're the issuer. Here, we're the holder. And we want to draw a payoff diagram, but before we can draw a payoff diagram, we're going to build a table to figure out all of our possible payoffs. And it's a little bit more complicated than before because we have multiple options. So what I suggest you do here is on the left-hand side, you're going to write your two positions. So you've got a long call and you've got a long put. Okay. And then at the bottom, you can just write payoff. That's basically your total. Okay. And at the top, what I suggest you do, start with 0. And then whatever strike prices you have, you want to see those. So because I have 25 and 35, I'm going to write 25, 35, and then pick one more number kind of further out. So we'll put 100. You don't have to maintain any particular interval, okay? 25, 35, 100. You could do 25, 35, 50, 60, doesn't matter. And what I want you to write in these tables is the intrinsic value. And remember the pattern. Call options, remember what I was showing you before? Call options, they start at 0. And once you hit the strike price, they start to go up. That's when they enter the money. So with this particular call option, at $0, by the way, this row here represents your stock price. So when the stock price is 0, the option is worth 0. If the stock price is 25, the option is worth 0. Okay, what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm calculating the intrinsic value. And remember that the intrinsic value of a call option is the stock price minus the strike price. So for the first one, I did stock price 0, strike price 25. That's negative 25. And earlier I said that you take the greater of 0 and 25. You cannot have a negative intrinsic value. So if you do get a negative intrinsic value, you put 0. Now, guys, I don't want you to actually do these calculations. Just remember, if it's a call option, you go 0, 0, 0, 0 until you reach the strike price, which for us is 25, and then you're in the money. So at 35, you're $10 in the money. You're $10 above your strike price. 75 at 100, you're $75 in the money. You're $75 above your strike price. It is always the same for a call option. 0, 0, 0 till you get to your strike price, and then you're in the money. And because you're in the long position, the next step would be to put a little plus in front of these to show that you are gaining this much. If you were in the short position, you would put a negative. The absolute numbers are the same, 0, 0, 10, 75. But if you're long, they're positive because you're making that money. If you're short, they're negative because you're losing that money. Okay, we'll do a short in the next example. Okay, then your put. For puts, the pattern is the opposite. It starts in the money and decreases until you hit your strike price, and then it's 0. So at 0, because the strike price is 35, you're basically $35 below the strike price. So that's what you put there. Here, you're $10 below. And then once you get there, you are out of the money. And again, the logic for this one is that the intrinsic value of a put is the difference between the strike price and the stock price. So at 0 here, you're doing 35 minus 0, which is 35. You're $35 in the money because you're $35 below the strike price. And then as you approach your strike price, the option becomes less and less and less valuable. So now we are going to add each one of our columns. So this is 35. This is 10. Oh, maybe back up actually. Again, because you're in the long position, we should put pluses here to show that we're making this money. So now I would have plus 35, plus 10, plus 10, plus 75. Okay. Now, the reason you need this table to draw your graph is what we're trying to show is what are all of the possible payoffs. because we don't actually know what the stock price is going to be in the future. But I've calculated here all the different possibilities. So the x-axis, you put S for stock price. The y-axis is payoff. And then you use the top row up here for your coordinates. So that's your x, and this bottom is your y. Okay, so this is like your y, and this is your x. So look, at 0, we were at 35. Then at $25, we were at a payoff of 10. At $35, we were also at a payoff of 10. And then at $100, we were at a payoff of 75. So you see, I used these as my x variables up here, and these as my y variables. And then you just connect your dots. So 30, so basically 35 is up here. So 35, 10, 10, 75, and then you typically will extend out the last leg. So it's showing you that as the stock price is rising, your portfolio's profit is rising with it. So this is the payoff diagram. It shows you how much money you would make based on whatever the market price of the stock happens to be when you decide to use your option. So if this were you, what would you hope for? Like, what is this person who constructed this portfolio, what are they hoping for? What are they betting on? If you get a question like that of what are they betting on, just look at where this person is making money. They're making money as long as the stock doesn't really stay in this range. So they are betting that the stock price does not stay between 25 and 35. Because if the price goes up, they make more money. If the price goes down, they make more money. It's only if it stays in that range that they're benefiting the